Hello, everybody. Hopefully you've turned in both of your assignments, the 45, 45, 90 triangles and the 30, 60, 90 triangles. It's not too late to turn them in. Today we're mixing them up. Some problems will be 45, 45, 90 triangles, and some problems will be 30, 60, 90 triangles to show if you really understand the concepts and can keep them straight in your head. So that's what these notes are for, and your homework is going to be due on Monday, and it's going to be these types of problems. So on the first problem, is it a 30, 60, 90 triangle or a 45, 45, 90 triangle? And remember, it could have these marks and it would be a 45, 45, 90 because it would be a nice isosceles right triangle. So it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle, and the two legs are the same. So if this is 5, then n is also 5. And then what do we multiply by to get the hypotenuse? Radical 2. That's in the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So it's 1, 1, rad 2. That's the ratio of the three sides. 1, 1, radical 2. So then the second question, is this a 45, 45, 90 triangle or a 30, 60, 90 triangle? Well, we see a 60 there, so that would make that a 30 because they add up to 90 plus 90 is 180. Which leg did they give us? Because this is the hypotenuse. Which leg did they give us? The long leg or the short leg? It's across from the 60, so it's longer than if it's across from the 30. So this is the long leg. So this is equal to x rad 3. And what do we have to do to find x? Divide by rad 3. And so what do we get? 4. So if there's a 4 rad 3, you divide by rad 3 and you get 4. And then what do you do for the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is 2x. So if x is 4, what's the hypotenuse? 8. And the ratio of the sides is x rad 3, 2x, or 1 rad 3, 2. That's the ratio of the sides for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this one is another 30, the 60 is missing, there it is, 30, 60, 90 triangle. They gave us the long leg again. And so we just cancel out the rad 3, divide by rad 3. And so this would be 5 over 2. Because the radical 3 goes away, but the 5 over 2 stays. And then this is 2x, so we double this. So what's 5 halves times 2? You just get 5. You double it and you get 5. The hypotenuse is 2x. So 2 times 5 halves is 10 halves, which is 5. What kind of triangle is this one? 45, 45, 90. And there's a 10 rad 2, which is x rad 2. So you divide by rad 2, and both legs are 10, 10, 10, 10 rad 2. That was an easy one. Hopefully you agree. The next one, there's a 5, and that's the x rad 2. So you have to divide it by rad 2. And you can't leave it like that. It says to leave the answers, radicals, in simplified form. So no decimals. multiplied by radical 2 over radical 2. We get 5 radical 2 over radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4, which is 2. 5 radical 2 over 2. 5 radical 2 over 2. They're both the same. So this is equal to x rad 2. So if we wanted the x, we have to divide by radical 2. Divide out the radical 2 so that we could get the answer. This one, they gave us the hypotenuse. So if you cut it in half, if you have 14 rad 3 over 3, what's half of 14? 7 rad 3 over 3. And that goes here. I put it in the wrong place. It goes with the short leg. And then you multiply by rad 3. So 7 rad 3 over 3 times radical 3. What do we get on the top? What's radical 3 times radical 3? Radical 9, which is 3 over 3. These cancel and we get 7. So the long leg is 7. This is 7 radical 3 over 3. This is 14 radical 3 over 3. We take the 14 and divide it by 2. Because this is 2x and this is x. And then we have to multiply by radical 3 and it cancels. Here's another 30, 60, 90 triangle. And this time they gave us which leg or which hypotenuse. What did they give us? The 16 is the what? So what do you do to the 16 to find the short leg? Divide by 2, so that would make it 8. And it's across from the 30. And then what do you do to the long leg? Multiply by radical 3. That was a pretty straightforward one as well. 8 radical 3. X, 2x, x rad 3. Here, they gave us 3 rad 3 for the short leg, because it's across from the 30. So you take 3 rad 3 and double it, and then it's 6 rad 3 for the hypotenuse. I started to write in the wrong place. 6 rad 3 for the hypotenuse. You double just the number in front, the coefficient, not the radical. So 6 rad 3, and you multiply by rad 3 to find out the long leg. So rad 3 times rad 3 is rad 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So this is 9. X, 2x, x rad 3. 2 more to go. This one is across from the 60. And they gave us 6 rad 3. So that's x rad 3. So what do we have to do to get x by itself? Divide by rad 3. And what happens when we divide by rad 3? How much do we get? 6. And this is 2x. So what do we do to the 6 to get the hypotenuse? Double it. So we get 12. X, x rad 3, 2x. Last one. This is across from the 30. So this is the x. double it. What's 3/2 times 2? The 2's cancel and we get 3. So the hypotenuse is 3. And we have 3/2. So we have 3/2 times radical 3. You multiply by radical 3 to get... Whoops, I switched them. This is the hypotenuse. And this is 3/2 rad 3. That's across from the 60. Sorry about that. So 3/2 times 2, the 2's cancel, and we get 3 for the hypotenuse. And for the long leg, we multiply by rad 3. So it's 3/2 times rad 3, or 3 rad 3 over 2. If you're having trouble with this stuff, let me know and we can have a Zoom session, a Zoom meeting, and I can answer your questions. So please be vocal about your needs and make sure you get this homework that I'm going to post on Google Classroom by Monday, that you get it done by Monday, and all the other homeworks done too. Thank you.